We finally beat Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. It only took us 2 weeks of uploads, but we finally grabbed that 106%. Our goal has been to collect all of the games, complete in box, beat them, and get 100% on every single Crash Bandicoot game. Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex just so happens to be our 6th Crash Bandicoot game that we have officially beat. This game was released in 2001. It was developed by Traveler's Tales and published by Universal Interactive Studios. We start the game off with a cutscene. Uka Uka is letting Cortex and his posse know they have failed in the name of villainy. Cortex lets us know that he has a secret super weapon, but needs a power source. Uka Uka then recommends the elementals. Aku Aku confronts Uka Uka, and luckily, each elemental can be returned to his hibernation state by collecting 5 crystals. We then have Cortex greeting us. He is introducing us to our new foe, Crunch. In this game, we have 5 levels per warp room, usually how it goes in these games, with a special warp room in the end. There are colored gems to collect, normal gems, and time relics like the previous games. In this video, I will break down each level throughout the game. We start off in Arctic Antics. Before loading in, we get our preview of the Earth Elemental, who seems a tad bit cocky considering Crash is now 5-0 against Cortex. This level is just your average first level experience, nothing too daring, but just enough to make you use all your moves and combos. Just like the previous games, each level has an included bonus level that has extra crates to break. The one difference about this game is that nitro boxes also count for your boxes. So at the end, there is a nitro crate box you can hit that blows up every nitro box, but it makes it quite difficult at times to know how many crates you have left. Overall, though, a quick and easy level. The next level is Tornado Alley. Coco lets you know that Cortex has generators up that are causing tornadoes. You have to shoot all 6 down. In Warp, they introduced the plane levels, and I thought it felt so much more fluid in this game. Our next level is Bamboozled. These levels, you're riding in a little ball type of thing throughout the level. These levels were sick. They required much more concentration to make sure you didn't miss anything, and that was pretty cool to me. You had to be careful not to speed up too much or you would lose control. Our 4th level is Wizards and Lizards. That's kind of funny. This one was unique as well. You know, it's not a Crash game if you're not being chased by some weird creature or boulder. In this level, you played half of that being chased and half of it normal. And it was such a cool level design too. Our last level here is Compactor Reactor. We had the Earth Elemental come back to talk a little crazy before we started off in the minecart, where you had to dodge nitro boxes in order to grab crates. After you advanced through this segment, you got into what seems like a Cortex base. It probably was. It just had a bunch of familiar enemies trying to slow you down. This was a super long level, but a pretty fun one overall. We now get to our first boss fight between Crunch and the Earth Elemental. You're back in the little ball, which gets covered in rocks, and you have to dodge Crunch and his. By hitting all the rocks rolling around, it will deal damage to him. This took me a little while to understand how to deal damage to him. I kept trying to hit him just head on, and I would only be hurt and not him. After repeating the process 3 times, you can defeat him. Defeating him will give you the sneak shoes. This allows you the ability to slowly walk on nitro boxes without them blowing up on you. After returning, Uku Uku and Cortex return. Cortex lets us know that there is still 3 other elementals, and the water elemental will take us out. Our first level here is Jungle Rumble. Before arriving, we get to meet the water elemental, who is mad about us showing up to his domain without invitation. Trust me, I won't make that mistake again. After loading in, this is like the Wizard and Lizards level. Half the level is normal, while the other half is being chased. In this level, we are in a buggy being chased by a herd of wild animals, which is pretty freaking sweet. I did die a few times on this level trying to do Time Relic. It's a little tougher level for sure. Our next level is Seashell Shenanigans. I am impressed I said that right the first time. If you have watched any of my gameplay or reviews, you know I absolutely hate the water levels with a burning passion. This one in particular wasn't too bad, thankfully. I wish that was consistent throughout the rest of the game though. We then get our first Coco level, which is really neat that she is finally a playable character. We enter Bonza. Did I say that right? Probably not. And we quickly learn her moveset is much different than Crash's, which makes it a tad bit frustrating trying to learn both. I struggled initially on this level, but felt better the longer I played it. The gym here is insanely hard though. My movement felt locked at times and I couldn't get past the original Nitro boxes. Overall, a neat level and awesome level design. The next level up is that sinking feeling. This was also a tad bit frustrating for me. It took me a few attempts to fully understand how to shoot the missiles out. After learning though, this level got so much easier. We then go to our next underwater level, H2O No. This was half water, half normal type of level. The water for this level wasn't too bad as it was quicker than usual. We didn't get another base type of level and that wasn't too bad either. You just have to dodge the henchmen basically. After collecting all 5 crystals, we get our matchup with the water elemental and Crunch. I really should not have showed up to his domain, especially without an invitation. This was by far the hardest boss fight I have ever gone up against. Why is the second boss fight in the game more difficult than the final boss? I probably died 40 plus times just trying to beat him. Alas, after finally beating him, you get the double jump ability, which probably would have been a blessing for this. We return to home base when we are once again greeted by no one else but Cortex, who warns us about the fire elemental. Our first level in the third warp room is the Gauntlet. With a name like that, you know it's about to be brutal. Before loading in, the fire elemental greets us, and he's just puzzled how his fellow mass failed against Crash. This level starts off pretty tame until about halfway through when a ton of obstacles appear that you have to avoid. This wasn't as tough as expected, but I could definitely see why it's given this name. If I wasn't so locked in when I played this, I could have easily struggled and got extremely frustrated. We did get our second Coco level, Tsunami. This level wasn't too bad until the end. It's a rather quick level, and not soon into it, you're being chased by the tsunami. But that wasn't the worst part. The gym level here is brutal. A bunch of small crates you have to jump to and from to make your way to the crystal. Or to the gym, my bad. This took me so many attempts. Our next level is Smokey and the Bandit. This is a buggy race. This level I also thought was going to be much more difficult than it was. One first try, I think, if I remember correctly. Now, trying to get all the crates was a different story. If you went too fast, you could easily miss a box and you couldn't turn around. So I got it pretty easily just going really slow. Not fun gameplay though. Our next level is Eskimo Roll. This is another one when you're in the ball. I just thought it was really unique though. It gave you the opportunity to see some of the past villains like Entropic, Tiny Tiger, and a few others. You know, they would just blast random shots at you or just try to block your way. Still neat to see them incorporated though. Our final level here is Fahrenheit Frenzy. In this level, you start off in this weird flying suit and you gotta navigate against the heat. It felt weird at first, but after messing with the movement, it felt a little bit better. After a little bit, you enter the base, pretty similar to the earlier final levels, but more of a volcanic theme. There's a box here that will make you invisible for a little bit, which makes it kind of cool. Super long level though. After this, we are able to get in our fight with the Fire Elemental and Crunch. In this fight, you're in a mech suit dodging his attacks, and then you try to chase him down and get your attack in. Each time you land an attack, his attacks get faster and less predictable. This took me a few tries, but nowhere near the amount of time it took for the Water Elemental. After defeating him, you're given the Death Tornado Spin, which is pretty helpful for trying to get time relics. As usual, when we return, we are met by the same familiar crew of Uka Uku, Cortex, and Crunch. Our first level in the fourth warp room is Avalanche, which is another Coco level. We get a little cutscene, the Wind Elemental talking, but it was just rubbish. This is another fast Coco level, but the hard part is the snowboard section of this level. In order to get the extra gem here, you have to make it through all of the poles. This took me a few tries, to be honest. It was super cool level idea though, and super unique to the game. Our next level is Droid Lloyd. I hated this level. I'm not a fan of any of the levels where you have to jump up and climb, nor am I really a fan of the mech suits. For some reason, the aiming with the rockets does not feel fluid to me, so this really made the time relic a little bit difficult. The next level is Crash Droids. Probably said that wrong. This level, you're in space trying to shoot out the 3 space stations. Though this level was really cool, it was really fast as well. They really did a good job in this game to make every level feel non-repetitive. Our next level is Coral Canyon. God, this was by far my second least favorite level in the game, especially for the time relic, given you only get 1 life. It was just a super long level, a ton of obstacles, and so many enemies, and just so many ways just to easily die here. It took me so long to get to time relic, and it caused me a ton of frustration. The last level here is Wuthering Heights. Another really long level, but it wasn't too difficult for me, thankfully. This sets up our fourth boss fight against Crunch in the Wind Elemental. This one was pretty cool. It was the first boss fight in the series where we're actually in a vehicle. And I mean, look at this thing. The boss is scary as heck. Every time it starts to fire shots at you, you just have to aim to where it shoots out. This can be a kind of a longish fight, but after defeating him, you're given the fruit bazooka that makes your life a lot easier. After returning, there's actually no message from Cortex, which kind of makes me sad. But our first level in the final warp room, we get to see Cortex, who lets us know how ironic it is they keep meeting like this, and he asks if, he can finally win. This level was super fun though. It's cool how far they've come in terms of their graphics and how advanced that has become. There were some moments where I was just shocked of how good it actually looked. Our next level is Gold Rush. This was a super long level. I really hate the levels where you have to hang and climb around. It makes the time relic really hard to get because you can't go faster. There was a lot of new enemies here, so that was fun. Our next level here is Medieval Madness. Another level in the little ball thing. This one was pretty fun though. Extremely long, but you can tell they put a ton of work into the design of this level. Like I said, it's crazy how far along these graphics have come in such a short amount of time. Our next level is Crate Balls of Fire. This was by far the worst level of the game, especially for the relic. It starts you off like having to climb. It automatically puts you behind in terms of time. Then you're back in the mech suit, which is extremely slow. This took me over an hour to complete trying to get the time relic. It was insanely frustrating. Our final level here is Cortex Vortex, which was truly a difficult level. A ton of obstacles, enemies, and a ton of nitro boxes. But what else do you expect from the final level? We get our matchup against Cortex and Crunch. Crunch has the ability to use all of the elemental powers. He sends rocks down at you at first, not super hard to dodge. After dodging those, you can inflict damage to Cortex. The next attack is water balls followed by the rocks. The water balls are probably the easiest to dodge. The next wave is heating up a portion of the ground, and then the rocks and water return. The last one is a laser that goes from one side to another, and this one is a super long process with all of the elements repeating. After defeating him though, you get the speed shoes, which will help you with the time relics. Once you defeat him though, you have to collect all the gem and relics, including the special warp room, to fully defeat him. In order to access the special warp room, you have to collect all of the time relics. After collecting all of the time relics, we have access to the special warp room. The first level here is Nighttime. This is what appears to be an extension of the gauntlet. There are no crystals in this level. The crystal is basically a gem here. This time though, you're playing as Coco. This wasn't super hard. You can find the other gem hiding on top of an obstacle. The time relic did take a few times to get though. The next level is Ghost Town. You're on a minecart racing Crunch. This was probably my favorite level. It was super fun. The design was great, and you really just had to lock in. The next level here is Ice Station Bandicoot, where you're racing some creature on a magic carpet through the hoops. It took me a try or two to figure out the movement, but after learning the movement, it was pretty easy. The next level here is Solar Bowler. This was another ball level. The level design here was A+, as well as the soundtrack. There were a lot of different directions, so you had to make sure to check everywhere for a crate. The time relic wasn't super bad if you beat the level first and you knew the correct route to go. The last level in the special warp room is Force of Nature. This was a snowboarding level where you got to do epic jumps and dodge enemies. This was unique. It took me a couple of tries and realized there was a button to make you move faster. Go me. So after learning that, it made it much more fun. After completing all of the relics and collecting all of the gems, you get the final rematch with Crunch and Cortex. Unfortunately though, this is just a carbon copy of the original fight. After defeating him though, you get the 106% cutscene, showing Crunch being broken away from Cortex control. His ship is about to explode when thankfully Coco comes and swoops them. Crunch is extremely grateful that he is free. We didn't see Cortex being chased by Uka Uka to finish it out. It felt really nice to be back to a real Crash Bandicoot game. I enjoyed Crash Bash and Crash Team Racing, but it was nice to return to this style of gameplay. The style of gameplay that made you love Crash Bandicoot games. I thought the movement in this game was extremely fluid. I thought the level designs were absolutely peak. You can really tell they put a lot of effort into building this particular game. You have to appreciate that, considering this is the fourth Crash game that follows this same type of gameplay. The elementals were a fun twist, and Crunch seems to be a good player that will be in future games. I don't know, hopefully. The time relics for some of them were hard, but overall not a super difficult game. My overall rating for this game is 9 out of 10. I thought it was an extremely fun game, well paced, and beautifully made game. Extremely excited to see where the rest of the series can go. Speaking of excitement, I'm extremely excited for our next game in the series, Crash Big Adventure on the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy games can be really hit or miss, but excited to give this a go. Be sure to keep an eye out for that gameplay. If you missed it, we have beaten 5 other Crash Bandicoot games. Check out some of those reviews. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.